So I'm in a bunch of Mount and Blade Bannerlord communities on Facebook, and some chap called Chris Warbets posted what I think is probably the best idea I've ever heard for a game such as Mount and Blade. Now, Bannerlord I'm a really huge fan of. I've been playing a lot of the multiplayer, but it is quite frustrating that it's the same 6 factions on like the same 5 maps. And it's just auto-matching. You can't do anything of any... And you can't, like, have competitions or anything set up yet. Now, it's all in the alpha, or beta even. It's in development still. And so I understand that it's not complete. And so I thought it might be worth bringing this to people's attention because this is such a good idea. So Chris says, wouldn't it be cool if the devs made a multiplayer game mode against the AI and called it 13 Warriors? 12 players and you, 13 unique characters would have to protect a village, train troops and upgrade defenses against waves of enemies. I assume that he means like upgrade yourselves as you go after wave, presumably from stuff you've plundered from that wave or something. Or maybe in a sort of killing floor fashion that you can, between waves, purchase equipment or something like that. But the goal, I suppose, you would have a kind of like thinking of the movie. So you've got, essentially no defense at the beginning where you have like one squad of peasants coming in. And, you 13 players have to kill those peasants before the peasants engage with the peasants you're trying to protect that are in the village. And then this would get more and more difficult. And you could, between waves, build some sort of defenses like a gate or, a small barricade, whatever it is. And continue to upgrade yourselves. I don't know. I mean, it depends however you want it. You can have it so the peasants are fighting, and the loss condition is the loss of all your people, which is feasible. I mean, or all the players dying, or all the peasants dying is the loss condition. Whichever way, I would be happy if it was just 13 players, having to deal with, squads of enemies coming in. And so you could have it so it's like, one squad of peasants. So it's like, 20 AI peasants for 13 players to kill. And then you could have 2 squads of peasants or 2 squads of peasants and some archers. And then, punctuate it with more difficult squads such as berserkers or heavy cavalry or something like that. You don't necessarily have to have the squads as big as they are in the captain mode. And the squads in the captain mode are really quite sizable. But it would be really, really interesting and really, really fun to play a sort of cooperative against the AI multiplayer round-based team game like this. I read this and I was like, hey, I love 13th Warrior. It's a great film. But this is a great premise to play. This is a really, really good idea. And I just wanted to make the video saying, no, I'm totally in favour of this. I hope people who play this game would like to, ask Tailworlds for this, something like this. Because this would be so addictive. I think that, you could get like 10 rounds in and you've got like 100 enemy of various different sorts that you've got to try and get through. And, you can imagine how difficult that's going to be. But by that time, you could be absolute tanks in amazing armor with amazing weapons. Bows, double-handed swords and things like this. And be ready to just carve through. Because, half of it would probably be peasant anyway, with that the other half being quite substantial units. So there would be a lot of challenge in this, I think. And you don't have to set a particular achievement goal either. It could just be however long you last, and with the waves getting successively more difficult. But anyway, I think, this is just a quick thing to say, look, this is a great idea, and I really wanted to promote this idea. Because I'm loving the Mount and Blade Bannerlord multiplayer. Me, Arch and Dank and a few others are playing it fairly regularly, and it's really good fun. But I would like more variety in the sort of things that we can do. And the siege mode at the moment is not very good because people don't work together terribly well. The skirmish mode is just autism, obviously, as you'd expect. I'm not saying that's bad. I'm not trying to get rid of these things. I just would like to add to these things. Because at the moment, the one I like playing the most is the captain mode. And it seems that that seems to be a very popular mode generally. There are always lots of people searching for games. It never takes as long to find a game. I just wish there's a bit more variety on it. Because honestly, we can play it for an evening straight. It's just such good fun. And I wish there was some way of organising matches in captain mode against other groups of players. So you could organise like a campaign and just fight the battles in Warband. Or, you could just have friendly competition and things like that. Also, a dueling mode would be good, so you could have groups of players, groups of friends who fought each other, rather than just dropping into a giant arena with, there's 50 people fighting. It's like, yeah, I don't really want to fight 50 randos. I'd really rather kick Dank's ass over and over and over because, man, team damage is on in Captain Mode, and Dank has killed me about 3 or 4 times more than I've killed him, and so I owe him some vengeance, and I would like to see that. But anyway, again, just a short video to say, loving Bannerlord, just shame there's not more of it, and if they are going to create more multiplayer modes, this is such a good idea.